A husband and wife climb into bed after a long day. The lights go out. One scrolls on their phone. The other turns away to face the wall. No kiss, no touch. Just silence. They're lying side by side, but they might as well be oceans apart. This is the quiet reality of millions of couples around the world. They are still married, still living together, still sharing bills and responsibilities, but their marriage has quietly become sexless. And here's the shocking truth. Research shows that almost 1 in 5 marriages fits the definition of sexless, meaning fewer than 10 intimate encounters in an entire year. That's not rare, that's not unusual. That's millions of couples silently struggling behind closed doors. But what makes this even more heartbreaking is that men and women often experience sexless marriages in completely different ways. They process the pain differently, they interpret the silence differently, and they carry scars that often go unnoticed by their partner. So today, let's break down exactly how men and women experience sexless marriages differently, why it happens, and what both sides can do to heal before it's too late. Let's start with men. For many men, sex is more than just physical release. It's their primary language of connection. Psychologists have found that for men, intimacy often equals love. When sex disappears, many men don't just feel frustrated. They feel rejected as human beings. They wonder, is she not attracted to me anymore? Am I failing as a husband? Am I not good enough? That creeping sense of inadequacy can chip away at confidence, fueling shame, anger, and resentment. Some men retreat in silence, bottling it up. Others lash out in arguments. And some may even look outside the marriage, not because they stopped loving their spouse, but because they are desperate to feel desired again. Now let's shift to women. For many women, desire doesn't come first. Connection does. Women often need emotional intimacy to spark physical intimacy. They want to feel heard, valued, and cherished long before the lights go out in the bedroom. So, when a marriage becomes sexless, women usually interpret it differently. Instead of thinking, I'm not attractive enough, many women think, he doesn't see me anymore. He doesn't care about me. Maybe he's lost interest in me as a person. The pain isn't about rejection of the body, but rejection of the soul. Women in sexless marriages often describe it as feeling invisible, like they're sharing a house with a partner who no longer truly sees them. Here's the tragic part. Both partners often misread each other. The man feels undesired. The woman feels emotionally abandoned. Both are hurting. Both are lonely. Yet neither one speaks up, or if they do, it comes out as blame, anger, or withdrawal. The gap grows wider, nights get colder, and what was once a passionate marriage begins to feel more like a business partnership. Two people sharing responsibilities, but not love. Science offers a powerful insight here. Relationship experts say men often use sex as a pathway to emotional closeness, while women need emotional closeness as a pathway to sex. It's like standing in front of two locked doors, each partner waiting for the other to turn the key. The man says, if we have sex, I'll feel close to you again. The woman says, if I feel close to you, I'll want to have sex with you again. And so they wait, and wait, and wait, until one day years have passed, and they realize they've been living like roommates instead of lovers. But here's the good news. This cycle can be broken, and it starts with honesty. Not brutal accusations, but vulnerable truth. A man might say, when we don't have sex, I feel like I'm not wanted anymore. A woman might say, When we don't connect emotionally, it's hard for me to feel desire. These conversations feel uncomfortable at first, but they are life-saving. They're the difference between continuing in silence and starting to rebuild. The second step is rebuilding intimacy outside the bedroom. Intimacy doesn't begin when the clothes come off. It begins in the everyday moments. Holding hands again, sitting together instead of apart on the couch, looking each other in the eye when you talk, offering a compliment that's genuine, not just routine. These small acts of affection slowly thaw the ice. They remind each partner that love is still there, waiting to be awakened. And third, couples must remember that help exists. Therapists, counselors, and even sex educators specialize in helping couples rediscover intimacy. What feels impossible to fix on your own often becomes manageable when you have guidance. Sometimes it takes a neutral voice to help both partners finally hear what the other has been saying all along. Let me share a quick story. A woman once described her sexless marriage as living in a glass box. She could see her husband, talk to him, even laugh with him, but she could never reach him. He admitted later that he thought she simply didn't want him anymore, so he stopped trying. Both were hurting in silence, each waiting for the other to make the first move. But once they finally sat down with a therapist and opened up, they discovered the truth. They both still wanted each other desperately. They had just been speaking different languages of love. That realization alone changed everything. Within months, their marriage felt alive again. At the heart of it, men and women don't experience sexless marriages better or worse. They just experience them differently. For men, it's about physical desire translating into love. For women, it's about emotional closeness sparking desire. Both are valid. Both are powerful. And both must be respected if a marriage is going to survive. So, if you're in a marriage that feels more like a silent partnership than a passionate bond, don't lose hope. Don't give up. You are not broken, and neither is your partner. You're just missing each other's signals. You're interpreting silence in different ways. But once you understand that men and women experience sexless marriages differently, you can begin to bridge that gap. Because marriage was never meant to be just about bills and chores. It was meant to be about connection, intimacy, and a love that grows stronger with time. And yes, that includes physical intimacy, because passion doesn't have to fade with age, stress, or routine. It just has to be nurtured.
So let me leave you with this. A sexless marriage doesn't have to be the end of love. It can be the wake-up call that leads to deeper communication, renewed passion, and a stronger bond than ever before. But only if both partners are willing to listen, understand, and act. Not as men versus women, but as two human beings who chose each other for a reason.